It's the weekend, and there's only one way to kick it off. Well, actually, we've kicked it off with like 3 other shows already today, but screw it. It's the grumpy old Reds looking ahead to the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest match, but it's happy old Reds. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to the weekend, and I am just pumped for tomorrow, boys. It's good to see you all in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well, and let the season begin now for me. I'm just trying to run through it. I think the day started. We sat down with our good friend Charlie. Big shout out to Charlie on Blues Brothers and Chelsea Fan TV. Make sure you subscribe to him. He got Ant really aroused. I got some weird WhatsApp messages from Ant this afternoon.
Weirder than normal, I'm sure.
Oh, speaking of arousing, let's do that again.
Oh, man, your voice is making me aroused, man.
Guys, I might have to mute myself by the sound of it.
Oh, Barry White.
He's like the
The problem is when people meet him in real life, they're going to be so disappointed.
It's squeaky as hell.
They are never disappointed, as you know very well yourself, Ant.
Oh, man, I need to take those effects off the mic.
True.
Guys, who sounds better, Ez or Sorry Mike? That's the real question now.
Yes. Can we put a poll up? Because someone's poll's going up.
Somebody's poll up.
That's your poll going up with that voice.
Let's not start like that. Let's not start like that. But can I just correct you? You said the day started with your stream with Charlie. The day started at a minute past midnight when we were still streaming last night. So all the amazing guys who were in the stream last night, thank you so much. That was madness, wasn't it?
Cracking show last night, guys. I wish I could have been there, but I'm not too well, but it was cracking.
Makeup lady out of hours charges a lot, and she really does. And there wasn't enough time to get you good and ready. Sure. And then we followed that up with the daily news, I think was next, where we broke to you. We'll be talking about all the signings in a minute, and the near signings as well. And then, of course, we had the predictor stream, or should we call it the twist crying stream, man? I mean, he's blocked me on WhatsApp, but whatever. Screw him.
Or the twist in denial stream.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, we had the fantastic FPL stream. I saw you lot in the chat taking plenty of notes. And then here we are now on GOR. So let's get this kicked off. But let's start with a massive thank you to Jason. Big J, thank you so much for the 9 months, my bro.
Thank you, bud.
Do appreciate it. It's good to see you guys all streaming in. As you're streaming in, please don't forget to hit that like button. And subscribe if you're new to Forest Fan TV, which is the only place, as Sai says, can't keep up with the FFTV content or the signings. We're on it. I can't wait to go to bed tonight, but knowing Forest, they'll probably chuck another signature our way. And I want to start with you because we didn't get to catch up with yesterday. Let's rewind a little. And let's talk about Gonzalo quickly just to kick things off. How are you feeling about this? I've gone with his first name.
I know. I was thinking exactly that. Yeah. I was thinking exactly that.
Over to you, Ed.
Well, first of all, it's just occurred to me that we're called GOR, but if we're happy old Reds, shouldn't we be whore? Just saying. No.
Or tired old Reds will be tore, mate.
Yeah.
The tall horse GOR, man. Nice. Sorry,
GOR horse on tour. Surely.
Okay, it's going to be one of those streams. Before you start off, and Eddie with the 4.99. Thank you so much. The legend, the Suffolk legend that is Eddie. Nice one, chaps. Onwards to glory. Yeah, glory. Ez is gone, man. Ez has set himself up. And start talking.
Yeah, look, I'm going to be dead honest with you, as I always am. I'm not that excited about the Montiel signing. I didn't really think we needed another right back, if I'm honest. Also, his stats aren't that good. Apart from the World Cup, I've not seen the guy, but I've had a quick look at his highlights. And the problem with YouTube highlights is that even if it's a defender, they tend just to show goals and assists and things like that. But he's a defender. I want to see him how he can defend. And I've not heard great things about him. before anybody says he played for Argentina, I asked this question the other night. Name me another Argentinian right back. They're not overblessed with right backs. Just because he's the best Argentinian doesn't mean he's the best in the world. Yeah.
Zanetti?
So, yeah, okay, yeah. Zanetti,
Okay,
yeah.
drop your mic and walk.
yeah. So I'm not going to get excited about it. Don't get me wrong. Give him every chance and hope he absolutely smashes it. But sorry to bring the mood down a little bit on this particular signing, but I'm not going to get overjoyed about it.
Okay, just before you move on to the next player, then do you see him?
You shout at me.
He's
what it
smooth
sounds
voice.
like. Oh, sorry, man.
No, it sounded good, man. It sounded good. Sorry, Mike.
Do you see him as being brought in to replace Aurier long term, or even short term?
Yeah, well, I think it's looking that way, isn't it? But do we need him again? We've got Nico. You know, I don't know if he's classed as a wing back. I'm sure he's classed as a fullback, but from what I've seen of him, he does more going forward than he does defending. So, yeah, possibly. Maybe Cooper's stuck to his 5 at the back now and he's going to use wing backs and that's it. Aurier's not the man. Because Aurier's not the man for a wing back. 2 brilliant assists. Yes, I know, against Sheffield. Absolutely magnificent, but that's a rarity, let's face it.
I knew me and Ant had something in common. We share the same brain cell. I said the same thing last night. And about 5, I'm convinced he's 5 at the back all year now.
I hope not. Spenless, thank you so much for becoming a member, bud. Remember, we'll have the watch along tomorrow for you for the Barchester Forest game. And if you are a member, you'll get to see all the goals as they go in, as per always, along with all the other perks. So it's only 99p if you want to do that. As the chat starts to get busy, we'll try and keep up with your messages. We'll bring up the members' messages as much as we can. But member or non-member, if you got anything urgent or if, I don't know, Ez says something that pisses you off, chuck us in a super chat and that pops to the top of the list so we won't miss it.
Tonight. I don't think anything I say is going to piss anybody off tonight. It doesn't matter how.
They won't know what you're saying. They will just hear the voice.
I'm just listening. Yeah.
And downside is when you actually meet him live and he goes, hello. It's like really squeaky. Proper squeaky. Honestly, that's the most amazing audio job I've ever done last night on them.
Yeah, it's all down to Dino. I'll admit that.
Yeah, it even looks 6 foot tall in that chair, doesn't he? Anyway, okay. So look, we got to move on, and we got to talk about the crazy day that is today. Well, that, as I said, started off last night. I mean, Santos for me. Wow. I get some of the comments I've seen in the chat. Like, we've gone from Sangare to Fofana, now to Santos. Why should we train the Chelsea kids and so on? I don't agree with that, but I respect the opinion. I get what they're saying there. I just think he's just going to slot in like a glove for us. And it's exactly what we need, Dino. For me, that CDM position, we've been screaming about it, haven't we?
Yeah, I think really there's only a couple of positions left now, isn't there? I mean, you could argue that we need more cover everywhere, but yeah, I mean, we've been screaming out for literally in the transfer window at the beginning of last season. We were screaming out for a CDM.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he does get forward a lot from what I see and what I know. So I don't know how drilled he'll be to that CDM position. I don't know, but they obviously know what they're doing. But they are getting there. It seems less. Just the whole transfer window seems a bit more structured than any other I've seen since we've been promoted.
And then, of course, we move it on to. This one excited me as Murillo. He's just he just like, I'm just looking at him thinking Hulk. Those shoulders are just like, I've never seen anything like it.
Player Hulk and the real Hulk.
Yeah.
Thing is, like, I mean, like with most of the guys probably in the chat, I'd never heard of him until we did a video on him, until FFTV did a video on him, and we said, like, he is an absolute beast, and didn't ever think we'd be linked with him. I didn't even think he was on our radar, to be honest. But there's we got Martin in the chat, who's obviously he's based out in Brazil, and he said a lot of good things, and he's just made us even more excited. But a fantastic prospect, and I like the signing. This is not a loan deal. This is not a season-long loan with no option to buy. This is looking like a real deal. And something you mentioned in your video earlier is how upset their fans are to be losing him. And that tells you all you need to know, really. And the same happened with Danilo and obviously with Scarpa as well. But this lad, he's got a lot of potential and he's got a lot of people. I'm just surprised that no other big teams have come in for him. And I'm kind of glad that Forest are doing the business the way they're doing it right now, keeping it slightly under the radar. But yeah. Very exciting player.
And on the price of him, he's going to be in and around 11 million. And as we mentioned on the video earlier, it's been all agreed between the clubs. It's now just going through the motions. Do you see that as a risk at all at that price? Young kid, chiseled up, decent defender. You're shaking your head. How you feeling about that price?
Come on, we're fucking Premier League, for God's sake. 11 million quid. Bloody hell, if we were that desperate for money, we'd have a shirt sponsor by now, wouldn't we? No, 11 million quid's not a risk. You know, I mean, if the worst came to the very worst, we'd lose him at 11 million quid. Well, look at some of the guys that we bought last summer and how much they're costing us and how we can't get rid of half of them. So, no, it's not for me. He looks powerful. He looks exciting. Let me put it that way. Of course, we need to see how he performs in the Premier League. There are no guarantees, but I'd rather take a risk on a play like that than pay 35 million for Maguire, for example, personally.
Yeah. Can I add in the wages as well there? You know, some of the players towards the latter peak stroke end of the career that we were signing last year on huge wages, the top sort of 3-4 wage in the group. And what you've got to realise is that strips out part, you know, your revenue as well in terms of FFP. It's not just transfer fees. And again, I know I keep banging on about it and sorry for it, but Brighton's got a great model. Buy him in.
Oh my God.
Cheap. Okay. This blue and white team have got a great model. Buy them in cheap, but also they're on very low wages. And there is a risk of losing them then, but look at the money they make.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you consider Shelby, 6 million was he? But 65 grand a week. Come on. Which is a bigger risk? I mean, you know, I think we know, don't we?
Go on, Ed.
No, I was going to say, so Dino's alluded to the Brighton model, and that was my first thought. I know. That was my first thought, though. When I saw
the fact that I said it with that tone, it was fine.
Yeah, I can get away with it, can't I? Sorry, I can even mention that team down the road if in this voice and nobody will say shit. But no, it just smacked of a Brighton style deal. If you look at the value of him and potential sell on value, because that's what they've based their model on. And if they can sign in players for 4.5 million, like Caicedo, and then sell them for a Premier League record breaking 115 odd. That is the kind of player that I think we've signed there. You know, if he hits the targets that we'd expect him to hit, but he's got to be played, hasn't he? He's got to be played, and Cooper's got to play him, and he's got to figure out what his best formation is with him included in that team, because he is a beast, and he's only going to get stronger and better when he plays more in the Premier League. No doubt about it.
Yeah, Eddie, we're definitely going to come on to this. Don't worry. We haven't gone full happy clapper just yet. And Crypto, the legend, who is on with Ez on the FPL. Thank you so much for the £2. Finally feeling positive about transfers. Now a striker, please. Yeah, Crypto hates the one you. He doesn't. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, it's Aurier he hates, isn't it? It was Aurier last week anyway.
I can't keep up with who hates who anymore. And Thomas, you absolute legend. Thank you so much for becoming a member. If you're not going to the game tomorrow, make sure you tune into the watch along so you can see those goals. Marky Boy, I see your message, but we don't talk about that name, not after what he's done. I'm not bringing that up. And then we'll cover this off as well. Who will be the new Scarpa? Dino, I just want to jump to you with this Callum Hudson-Odoi stuff. And someone raised the comment earlier about, because he did reject Forest earlier on in the window, he wasn't interested. With all the movements today and potentially Santos, coming as well from Chelsea, do you think, and to answer, apologies who asked, I think it was you, Sci-Fi, wasn't it, who asked it, do you think that he's now seeing Forest as a more attractive option? Because it is sounding like it's getting close. I've not had anyone confirm anything to me whatsoever. But do you think he will come, and do you think he feels more attracted now based on the last 24 hours?
Well, it's been reported on Sky News, isn't it? Because when I was out in the car, I saw that pop up. Once it's on Sky News, it's fairly far down the line, isn't it? Normally.
Well,
They don't
put it another way, they don't
many
normally
times.
get it first, do they?
No, they don't get it first, but when it gets to them, it's normally, it's normally well documented behind the scenes. I would say if the critical side in me takes over here, and I just think that he was waiting for a better offer, didn't get it.
That's an interesting way.
That's all that's left. I don't think there's anything to do with his potential teammate being there now. I don't think it's anything to do with that. Footballers don't move because they're mates. That's got long gone.
They don't necessarily just Santos, Dino. I'm just talking the general movement of the window. Does it become now a more attractive thing, or are these still unknown players potentially to these guys?
I just think he was waiting for a better offer that he didn't get, and we're the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah, I think
that's my opinion.
Yeah, if I was a young I don't think that's anything wrong in that. If I was a young footballer and it was and I knew my club were trying to get rid of me, then at the beginning of the window, yes, I would wait to see what offers came in. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong in that.
No,
for example, if Barcelona came in for him, of course he's going to pick Barcelona. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's getting to the stage now at the end of the window where he's thinking, I need to move. What is actually available to me?
Yeah, he needs football, doesn't he? That's the key. He needs football, first team.
Very much.
And I think he was just holding out for the best first team football he could get.
Yeah. And like I say, I think that's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking him.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to dispel your...
Not everybody's a Forest fan, unfortunately.
Exactly, yeah. I'm just trying to douse your enthusiasm about how he's excited to join Forest. It would just be another club to him.
Blame sci-fi. I just brought up his question.
No. It would just be another club. It would just be another club to him, and
Yeah.
So how many of these Brazilians and Argentinians do you think laid at home as children thinking, "Oh, I hope to play for Forest one day"?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
El Cluffio.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
All of them. Absolutely. Ez, do you rate him as a player? Hudson-Odoi.
He's another one who's not really hit his potential. He was out on loan in his early years, and every season he seemed to come back, and you'd think maybe it's his time in the Chelsea team. Eventually, he gets in, and I think he started really well for Chelsea when he did start playing for him. But then his injuries have been a massive issue for him, and then they're bringing in players all around him, and he's not going to be getting a chance. He was one at the start of a window that I would have been happy with. Right now, I don't know. I don't know if we need him, unless there's other dominoes that are going to fall. So he's not a player that I would say 100% no to, but just doesn't really fit the build. But he's another player that Cooper has coached and managed in the past, and that might be the overriding factor in this. But this is an opportunity, talking about some of the other players that we brought in, an opportunity like for the likes of Santos, for Cooper to actually live up to that billing as a youth team manager, a youth team coach, somebody who brings out the best in the younger players. He could do that with Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I think of any of the managers or teams he's been linked with, from his point of view, we'd probably be the best prospect for him. But is he the best prospect for us? I'm not convinced he is right now, to be honest. No,
I don't think. Go on.
No, sorry, Dino. I was just going to say, I'm quite intrigued by this one. A lot of it depends on the price, doesn't it? Let's be honest. And his salary, of course. I mean, coming from Chelsea, you don't know, do you? I mean, because bear in mind that this kid 3 years ago, Chelsea turned down a £60 million bid from Bayern Munich for him. You know what I mean? So at that time, he obviously had something. He then got his injuries, and then he was returning to Chelsea. Let's face it, it's been a shit show for the past 3 years. Players coming in and out, no system, different managers, a crazy place to be. And I must be honest with you, I've not kept across him for the past couple of years, so I don't actually know what his injury record for the last 2 years is like. Perhaps some research needs to be done on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. Go on, Dino. Sorry.
I just don't think we need him. I just don't think he's a priority at the minute. I just think there's priorities a bit
Why,
further up.
why Jono goes, Dino?
Yeah, exactly that. So that leads in nicely, take up that mantle, as Maxi says here, is Jono being sold. Chat, what are you thinking here? Is this another indicator towards Jono going? Let me know. But before we do all of that and Dino jumps in, Mike, you're way too generous, Mike. We really do love you, as he's gifted a sub. And Chris, who was in the FPL stream, if I remember rightly,
Mike.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Make sure you show Mikey some
That's
love for
amazing.
his generosity, and you are now part of the membership family, bro. Yeah, but Dino, as Maxi was saying there, is this a further, if it does happen, let's just devil's advocate it and assume it happens. Is this a sign that Jono is on his way out, in your opinion?
Who knows? Who knows? Only the club know, really. But we do have covering those positions left and right. You've got a Langer that can play over on the right.
Mm.
You know, Gibbs
That's not
White can play
cover,
on
though.
both wings and through the middle. They can. I mean, not ideal. And then we've got these marauding wing backs that we're buying. So I don't know. I don't know if he's. Yes, it would be nice to have him as that option if he's the right person. But I think we need a backup striker first. Can I just go back to this comment?
Yeah.
You know, we got to be careful setting ourselves up as a bit of a lost home for stray cats, because you could have said that. Oh, you pussy! You could have said that about Lingard, Shelby. You know, it's quite a lot that had a lot to prove, and then come to Forest, and Steve Cooper will get the best out of him, and it doesn't always happen that way. But Cooper does love his history, doesn't he? He used to work with him in the under-21s and things like that. So
and that's the difference from the players you've just mentioned. Obviously, Lingard and Shelby are at the opposite ends of their career, and Hudson-Odoi is still growing. He's still not really hit his potential, as I mentioned, and he's got a chance to maybe get some game time, regular game time, at a team where he's with a manager who he has worked with before. But do you see, because I think I saw him playing in the under-21s in this role, but do you see him as a possible counter-attacking midfielder as well? Are you laughing at my voice?
No, I'm not. I'm laughing at the comments. We should get Felix.
But do you see him as being covering the cam role as well, possibly for Jono?
Yeah.
Sorry, MG Dub.
I'd say what cam role?
Unless we play a camera, absolutely.
I just can't see it. I don't know if you picked up the stream from last night and today, but I just can't see him playing a cam this year. It's certain if he's fixed on a 5. Only if he's going to go narrow. But then what's Alanga and Jono going to do if Jono stays?
I'm not having that, Dino. He plays MG Dub in the cam. If he drifts from out to in, he's still playing in the cam role.
When he plays narrow, yes.
Which has pretty much been the last,
So
month.
why did we buy Alanga then? Why have we still got Jono?
That is the question. I want to move into talking about how all these jigsaw pieces fit
Can I
together.
make a quick point first? Sorry, man. Can I make a quick point?
Go on. Is your point going to be that there's 250 nearly in here and 54 likes only? Is that going to be your point?
I mean, if I'd have known that, I would have done. That's pathetic. Mind you, I've not clicked it myself yet. I'm just about to do it. Now you've reminded me. See, this is why we have to remind people, because people like me are a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? No, it wasn't old. It was stupid, idiotic. Any of those words are not old.
Wrinkly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's Ant's birthday
Ant-
next week, guys. It's Ant's birthday next week, so we'll be adding a few more years
31st of August. It used to be the last day of the transfer window, but the fuckers have moved it now, haven't they?
Ant's going to be 31 on the 31st. He is a little pissed, no doubt. And I'm just gonna
hang on. Just make his point.
Just while you make your point, chat. Get in the comments how you think they're gonna fit in. Let's start with the formation there. Go on, Ant, make your bloody point. It better
very, very brief point. And I understand where this is coming from. I just want to point something out. Everybody keeps saying we need a backup striker. Are they forgetting we have a backup striker? It costs £19 million for one season. We have a backup striker.
Do you
Can
think
you see us going out and getting another one and putting Chris Wood further down? I don't think so. So I should put that out of your mind if I were you guys.
You've changed your tune, you have.
He scored a goal.
I know you change yours.
That's all it takes.
Honestly, you're so flip-floppy.
Happy clappy flip flopper.
It's
Seriously.
disgusting.
Frenchman with
Yeah.
sandals,
I'm just
Philippe
making a
Philop.
point. I'm not saying I agree with it or I don't agree with it. I'm just making the point.
Yeah,
True.
I agree with
You've got a
DJ.
point.
I agree with DJ. Dinosaur Ant. Laser, we'll keep you
Football.
posted while we're live.
very
So
nice,
far,
is
the
it?
newest thing is Callum Hudson-Odoi. But let's put these jigsaw pieces together. I literally can't remember who I asked. But who did I ask?
Dino, I think.
Dino.
No, it wasn't.
How do you see this
Wasn't
all
it?
piecing together? Let's start with the formation as Ez has put you in it. So you're saying a 5-back, but who's going in and who's being dropped? And let's assume all 3 or 4, however many it is now, 22 are coming in. How do you see this working?
You don't want to know my answer because
I
it's
do.
complex. It's complex.
Oh God, here we go. He's going to bring a
It
fucking
means
heat map.
it
up,
means
doesn't
you
he?
wouldn't understand it, Wolverine. You're not got the
No,
brain
he
power.
needs the heat map, doesn't he? That's what he wants.
It's it's a difficult one because he's going to play a 3-back, isn't he? He's everybody that we're signing on the left and right in defence are attacking full-backs, wing-backs, whatever you want to call them. So he wants those to get forward, probably more than defend, I think, right? So that leads towards a 4-3-4-3, doesn't it? With if we're under pressure, those 2 will drop back. So the key to the puzzle is, I think we work better as a 3 in midfield, but a 3 in midfield leaves us narrow, very, very narrow at the top. MGW shoehorned in literally every match, right? And then a 1-year up front. So this then negates the wingers that we've bought and we've got, and one worth potentially £50 million sitting on the bench like the last few games of last season. So the other dilemma is he goes to a 2 in midfield of 3 up front, which is why I think that number 10 position, if he goes down that, will not exist.
So wait,
See, I told you it's complex.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, it's not complex. It doesn't make sense. So who are you putting in the front here? So to put names to the positions.
Which formation?
Well, I don't know, man. You said like some weird formation. Yeah.
Well, I can't pick a formation because I don't know what he's going to do. He's either going to go 3-4-3 or a very narrow up top with MGW and.
Okay, let's go with the 3-4-3. How does that fit?
To what?
With players, as in names.
Do you want me to name all the names?
Just give me the front 3 in the midfield. But before you do, Andy, thank you so much, bud. How you doing, man? I hope you're well. Thank you for becoming a member. Well, he's been a member for ages.
Yeah. He's not a new face.
I don't know why it says new member, but
it's getting a bit complicated. I thought we'd just come on to say, shit, man.
Yeah.
We're coming on to that in a couple of minutes. Don't worry. But I just want to piece this puzzle together. So, Dino, in the 3-4-3, what are you saying for the front 3?
That's it. And you're going to go, where's MGW?
Yep.
That's what you're going to say. So I'd swap obviously Odoi because he's not here. You put Jono in there. That's my best front 3 because they've got pace, they've got power. Well, they've got pace and he's got power on you.
All right, so legit, where's MGW?
3 with Jono rather than Odoi. But if Odoi comes in,
Where's MGW?
Off.
I can't.
Exactly. You do this conundrum every single week. you forced her to talk around a number 10 role, and then you'll go, where's MG Dub? You do it every time, man. In fact, take that hat off and let everybody in the chat see your
That's a brilliant impression. That's a brilliant impression.
It does, though. He does it every time. Honestly, I could get bored of it. MG Dub, man, he doesn't fit. If we're not playing a 10, he's not a natural winger, but he's our most creative player. But listen, we've spent a long time in this chat trying to shoehorn fucking Scarpa into the team. Now look where he is. Because he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. He looks great, and we've bought him, and we're all excited. Brazilian Player of the Year, me included, but he doesn't fit his squad.
I'm so confused. So you're dropping MG Dub. Are you saying you're dropping MG Dub?
Yes, in that formation, yes. Okay, are you saying that you'd put him on the left rather than Elanga? Or the right rather than Jono?
I ain't said nothing
What are you
yet,
saying
bro.
then? What are you saying?
I'm hosting.
Say something then, or show us your haircut.
Oh God! Has Dino replaced Nick? Has he replaced Twist? 'Cause there's some. It must be.
But if we play a 4-2-3-1,
to be fair,
MGW is nailed on number 10 every single game for me. I love him. But
to be fair, I
this isn't
understand
me
exactly
saying he's
what
shit.
Dino's
This is
saying.
me saying he doesn't fit that system. He's not a winger like Elanga. You
But-
tell me, and Inez, and you, Wolverine, right? Elanga or MGW on the left?
I'm the host.
Elanga.
I'm telling you that I'm not playing that formation. So he's Cooper's golden boy. How the hell is Cooper building a team around him? So let's build a team around him. You gotta have a cam in there, mate. So the formation, so many times we said last season, which we never really saw. And I'm as guilty as anything over the last few streams about not mentioning it because I've been so brainwashed by this back five, this low block from Cooper. But I keep forgetting we've always wanted to see 4-2-3-1. Why is that fallen out of reckoning now? And I think that's what Wolverine's trying to get us back to. But yeah, 4-2-3-1 surely is.
I'm just asking questions.
I'd love
right.
a 4-2-3-1. I started off by saying Cooper's going to play a 5-back because that's the players he's buying.
Yeah, I know.
Unless he's going to Tottenham and playing 2 at the back and fuck all anybody else because the wing backs are right up the pitch. So when they get the ball from the goalkeeper, all you can see is 2 defenders. That's it.
Are we bringing in good enough players now, hopefully, that we can play a 4 at the back? Surely, from the quality of players that we've been linked with, that we've bought in, that we are bringing in, surely he can afford to go to a 4-back now. And if that's not his best formation in an attacking sense of view, and I do understand that there's going to be games that we're not going to be playing at. We're not going to be playing 4 out of the back against Arsenal away, Man City away, maybe even not against Liverpool away. But in certain home games, he's got to be looking at that. So surely the best formation for us as an attacking team is still we're going to go back to 4-2-3-1. And 4-2-3-1, you can get your cam in.
What about back 4? Santos as the CDM, Danilo as a number 8, MGW as a number 10, and then your front 3. Elanga, Aurier, and
Welcome
Jono.
to the conversation, and seriously.
Yeah.
Elanga, Aurier, and who?
Either Jono or Hudson-Odoi, whoever's.
Where's MGW?
I put MGW as number 10.
He's put him in. He's put him in. He's put too many
really
players
in the 10.
He's done too many players though. He's put 3 ahead. How have you got 3 ahead of MGW?
No, he hasn't. I've got 10 outfield players. Back 4.
What was your formation, Ant?
4.
Go on. Yeah.
Santos CDM 5.
Yeah.
Danilo number 8. 6. MGW number 10, 7.
Yeah.
Elanga left, 8. Aurier centre forward, 9.
Yeah. 4-2-3-1 you could have said that would have saved a lot.
10.
Yeah, it's just that's not the way he said it. That's what confused me.
That's exactly the way I said it.
He did say it like that.
No, the way you said it is 4-2-1-3 because you said
no, he didn't.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did.
I had Santos.
Right, rewind it back, guys. Did you not say 3 ahead?
Everybody calm down.
I had
Did you not say 3 ahead of MG?
I never said 2.
Chill, you're talking over each other. Chill.
I never said 2 as a pivot. I said Santos, didn't I, Wolverine? I said Santos as the CDM, Danilo, and MGW.
Okay, that's even more different.
It's a mute point. It's a mute point because he was right in what he said. I'm the host. I decide. And what I've decided as well is that Nottingham now and then, and I love the name, 241 in here, 70 likes. Please do hit the like button.
Please do.
And can we give a massive shout out to Nottingham now and then for the work he's doing on Instagram, both on his account and on the FFTV account. So if you've got Instagram, please make sure you type right now in the chat, !Insta, and give us a quick follow because the man is an absolute legend and we love him. Yeah. And Stoney, I agree. Okay, so let's not argue. Let's not argue about the formations. Let's not argue about the players. We will come to some common ground, boys. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United. Do we all hate them?
No,
we all hate them. We all hate them. There's different levels of hate, even in our group, ain't there?
Wait, Dino, you don't hate them?
No, why? What's it to hate?
Oh.
And I mean, Nick's a prick, so that's good enough reason.
What pet you are?
Guys, the question was from Dino was, what is there to hate about Man U? You've got all night. Go on, start typing it in. Bloody
we
hell.
can start off with the fact that they bought every title and every FA Cup and the Champions League. They were fucking lucky to win it. And all their scummy fans were telling us how fantastic they were, despite the fact that teams like Forest had about 3 months ain't to rub together. Right? So, and we had 20 fucking years of that.
In the days of no transfer window.
Now it's shit, and they're still saying how great they are. They're full of plastic fans that don't know a bloody thing about Manchester United, except that perhaps they might know they wear red and white because they've got the shirt, of course. Honestly, they are despicable. Them and their fans are despicable. They spend 85 million on a fucking Anthony and tell us the Glazers are shit. Ten Hag bought him, mate. He was desperate for him, spent all summer after him. That's Ten Hag, not your fucking board. And it goes on and on and on. Sorry.
I don't disagree with any of that. But I don't hate them. I dislike them. I dislike every other club. I have a soft spot for like the Newcastles of this world. You
love Brighton. You don't shut up about Brighton. Anything. You're like, it's your Arsenal to Anne, isn't it? Your Brighton. Brighton model.
Going on in Brighton, I'll tell you that.
Brighton model. Okay, I just want to add to that, right? I knew I'd wind them up today. I put a TikTok out with my combined 11. Yeah. If you're on TikTok, give us a follow. !TikTok. They go crazy. And as an added bonus, I pissed off all the Forest happy clappers as well. It's so funny. It was just a little icing on the cake. It was so funny. But yeah, that's what there is to hate about them. All right, let's get serious for a second as Brett is going all freaking fanboy. I want to talk about, look, most of you saw the ruckus, shall we say, between me and Nick earlier. Yeah. Did he have any points, is like, okay, are people expecting Man U to win? Probably, but seriously, this entitlement just does my head in with them.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves and pet hates of them, because they feel like even though they've been nowhere near winning the title in the last, how many years is it? It's like they've been nowhere near it, but they still feel they should be in that conversation. It was interesting though with your interview with our boy Flex the other night, because I've never seen him that well. I have seen him that down, but only this season, and I don't even think he could really pin them down in the top four, could he? So we said it before, and it's never really worked, because our record against Man U, obviously we haven't played them for 23 odd years in the league, but it's been poor. But the cliche, it's as good a time as any to play them. So I'm actually kind of secretly, I'm looking forward to the game anyway. I look forward to watching Forest, but I actually think we could get something out of them tomorrow, mate. And
genuinely, do you feel that, or you just?
I genuinely do, because the only downside, and probably one of you guys will mention it, possibly, is that Mason Mount's out. That's actually
it's disappointing.
That counts against us. It's not the fact that he's such a bad player. It's just the way they play with him, and he's trying to shoehorn him in, which means
he's
Rashford,
so lazy, man. He's so lazy. It's unbelievable.
I know, but it puts Rashford down the middle, and Rashford is no number 9, and he'll tell you that himself.
Terrible down the middle.
No, so that's the downside for tomorrow. But I do think we've got a chance of getting something for the first time in many a year, But it is down to Cooper as well. If he doesn't play with, like Crypto's going to say here, any fear, we can't. We got to stop doing that. That's a small club mentality, and we got to grow out of that. So if we go in there confident, I would love to see Alanga start. I'd love to see Aina start. I hope he's back from his injury. But go for it, man. What we got to lose, man? It's a game.
I'd love it. Can I just bring up, because I need to go shortly. Just jump in. I've been hearing a lot of this. When you see like the stars of the YouTube on the Man United side, they're all like, oh yeah, well at least we'll turn it around. We've got Forest at home, and we should beat them. And I think we can beat them. I really do. Right now, with a little bit of an uplift that we've had a win early. Okay, we're reasonable against Arsenal. We were expecting to get pummeled. We've had some nice signings this week that's given us a bit of a boost. And then, we are playing an out-of-form Man United who have got big problems behind the scenes with the Glazers. They don't know where the hell they are, and that's off the pitch. On the pitch, I think they need more of a mess. This is a real opportunity to actually go and beat them. I think at their ground. That would be.
You're showing a lot of chest, Dino. Yeah, but will you be showing us that same hair at 2 p.m. tomorrow when you see the team sheet?
If it goes ultra defensive, 5 flat at the back, 1 up front, 1 behind, then I think it might be an opportunity lost. We might come away with a draw, but everybody will be cheering. If we go for it, I'm with theirs. If we go for it, I think we can really. I think we can beat them. I really do. You can clip that because I really do.
Is this up there with the Shelby 35-yard screamer?
It's beyond that.
It's beyond.
Yeah.
Beyond, yeah.
Dino, you're a
It's going
hypocrite.
to bite me on the arse, this, isn't it?
You're a hypocrite because I saw your scoreline prediction, which was 2-1 to Man U in the predictor. Yeah,
it's the wrong way around, mate. I got it the wrong way around.
Just because you hit it behind the name, the high press, didn't mean I couldn't tell who it was.
No, I got the wrong way around. I got a few wrong, and I locked them in. Couldn't get them out.
Yeah. I've made
the thing is, I agree with Dino, and I put 2-1 Man U as well. It's just like PTSD, isn't it? It's like it's the name. You're scared of the name, and that's what Forest mustn't be because we showed them far too much respect last season, and I don't want us to do that again because they are not a good side. Forget that it's the name. Players are scared before they set foot on the pitch, and like I say, I'm the same. I think that if we played a more progressive game, we couldn't be picking a better time to play Manchester United. I know we can beat them. But I still put 2-1 to Man U because it's, many years.
They'd love a 1-1, wouldn't they? They'd love a 1-1 in their side.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
They'd love them.
Let's stop beating around the bush. It's not can we or can't we. It's about what Cooper decides. For me, I said it in the match preview earlier in the week. And you know what? I love Flex. I always have. I've genuinely watched him for years. And the thing from our chat with him yesterday, when he turned around and said, if you guys play Elanga, Jono, Awoniyi, and MG Dub, he goes, that would, I'm paraphrasing him, but that would frighten him. It would give them something to think about. And you just wonder, because it's not the first one who said it. We've heard it with, so many different YouTubers that we speak to. And this is the bit that bugs me. It's if they can see it, and I feel there's a decent amount of the Forest fan base can see it, why don't we see it on the pitches? That's the thing that worries me. And that's why I get why you guys have gone for Man U to win, because I don't think any of you are expecting a kind of 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. You're expecting a low block. Is that right?
Yeah, it's another. Yeah. It's almost like Stockholm syndrome, isn't it? With our away form and the way Cooper's been almost gaslighting us with his formations and the way we play away from home, because there was a marked difference between the way we played at home and away from home last season, and we've got to change the season. Why not? With a tricky run that we've got where no one's expecting us to get anything away from home in the next 4 or 5 away games, just go for it. I mean, if we're going to lose, we're going to lose. But if we don't, we end up dying wondering, don't we? Like we have done with so many players and so many formations. So let's stop doing that. Let's stop being like that. Sorry, Dino. Go on, jump in, mate.
No, it's okay. I've got last comment and I'm going to have to go. Yeah. I just think that, I agree with Ez. This is the time that we just need to go for it. But you just can't see a 4-2-3-1 coming tomorrow, can you?
I don't want to.
The odds against it, knowing as a Forest fan, the odds against it coming out as a 4-2-3-1 are really, really high, aren't they? They just
but it doesn't need to be that.
Yeah, so it's a shame because that put us in a. You know what I'd like to see finally is when we changed the formation and went 4 back against Arsenal in the second half, and they got worried and they bought took a midfield attacker off, I think, and bought another defender on.
Yeah,
why don't we play like that?
That's high pitched.
I know.
He does his microphone.
Take your hat off before I go. When you're going to show the chat your hair, he's had a haircut chat and he's not had his hat off since. But we're having a sneaky peek.
You're late. Go pick up your missus.
Just take your hat off first.
Wait,
go.
Chat, you've got to bully him to take his hat off.
Yeah, make sure you do.
Every single
now you're
comment
going
from
to
now
set them
on
all
needs
off.
to be
Now
about
you're going
his
to set
hair.
them all off.
As soon as we get
All
to 150 likes, he'll take it off, guys. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're at
Can't compete
79
with-
likes,
He
250
and
in
Dino
here.
can't
Come on,
compete with Barry White there in the corner.
come on, guys.
I'll
All
sing
right,
to you
Dino,
as
on your
well.
bikes.
Love you,
On your
leave you.
bikes. See you
See you,
later.
Dino.
Bye-bye.
Love you,
so-
mate.
See you, chat.
Safe
Oh
journey.
God, where's Ez gone? Dino, go away. It's meant to be Ez on. Oh God, there is.
Can
Okay.
I just
Bring-
add
bring-
to this debate about we're going to be playing a back five and everything? We may well play a back five. I don't have a problem with a back five. There are different ways
Yeah.
of playing a back five. You can be very
Mhm.
defensive and sit on the edge of your box back five, or your players can actually push up and pressure the opposition further up the pitch. In which case, it could become quite an attacking formation because you've got your wing back further up the pitch, closer to the forwards and everything. Doesn't have to be negative, unfortunately. So I'm not too bothered about the formation. It's the tactics. And unfortunately, the tactics with Steve Cooper seem to be, well, not seem to be, they are, to sit right back. And then it is just defensive and you're just waiting for them to score. That's my issue.
You're spot on. You're spot on because a back 3 or 5 doesn't necessitate defensive. It's the low block, mid block, high press thing that does. You know what I mean? Go on. Sorry, you want to
I
jump
was
in?
just going to quick question to you guys, really, because I still haven't caught up with Cooper's presser from this week. So, in terms of injury news, what's the latest on? Did he speak any more about Niakate? Obviously, we saw him come on towards the end of Sheffield United game. Are we looking that he's going to be starting on Saturday? And any news on Felipe and any of the others? And shout out to Daniel while he's up. Yeah.
Big shout out to Stoney, 10 months. My God, man. He was like 3 years old when he joined us. Thank you so much, Stoney. Appreciate it, bro. You legend. The team news was, I'm not going to lie, I'll be honest with you. The presser was a rinse and repeat. I think me and you spoke about it yesterday, didn't we, Ant? Felipe's still out. Einar but he's back training. Einar is close. I don't think he'll be available. And, what was the World Cup?
Niakate, he says he should. I got the impression that Niakate should be okay.
Yeah, I think he'll play. But Gonzalo
Montiel.
Thank you. Gonzalo Montiel won't start. He kind of hinted at that as well. So that's the team news. And then he asked someone next to him and they couldn't think of anything else. So it's to be expected. Now, a few of you in the chat have asked about Santos. Did he not kind of cross the finish line in time? As far as I know, the indications were, I think he has. Now, I haven't had it fully confirmed yet, but it was like close enough that to me, I'm going to say, yes, he did. But either way, I don't think he got chucked straight in. Personally, I would. This would be a good game for him. Yeah. Would either of you not? Or would you both?
No, definitely would. I'd throw him straight in.
You know me.
Shiny toy.
Get him in.
Chat, yes or no? If you would chuck him in, put a Y in. Put an N if you wouldn't. Let's just see how that looks. And
you've got to look at who he would replace. If he's better than the player, if you believe he's better than the player that he would be replacing, then you play him, don't you? It's pretty simple to me.
All right, go on, man. Let's play devil's advocate as I'm being tagged with. Who you dropping? You should have shut
my
up.
midfield three would be Santos, as I said. Santos, a CDM.
Yeah.
Number 8 would be Danilo, and number 10 would be MGW. So whoever else is not there, Mangala, Yates, I'm sorry, you're good backup.
Okay.
We'll have you on the bench.
Okay, fair enough. And chat, you won't get off easy either. As you also said, you'd chuck him in. Shiny knee toy. Who are you dropping?
And the chat does.
The chat is saying yes. Yeah.
At the moment, I'm dropping Mangala. But although Danilo isn't really one on form at the moment, I would like to see Danilo paired with Santos and see how that looks. And why not test it out against Man U, mate? I'd like to know who they're going to bring in. It's probably going to be, I'm thinking it's probably going to be McTominay they bring in for thingy. What's his name? For Mount tomorrow.
Money Mount.
So I'd go for him, mate, and I'd pair. I'd love to see Danilo and Santos play, and I hope they get as many minutes as possible together this season. And Yates's a super sub, isn't he? So actually, I'm not dropping Mangala. I'm going Mangala, Yates. Mangala, Santos and Danilo as my starting front three. And then if you do need to make a change, then you can bring Yates on, because I think Yates is...
where's MGW?
MGW's ahead of him, man. He's not in that midfield three for me. He's further ahead. I'm not counting him in that midfield three.
So you're going 1-1 then? Or...
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I just want to talk about the scum for a minute. And looking at the games that they've played, Wolves and Spurs, I know you've watched them both. Where do you feel their weaknesses are, and how do we exploit them?
Midfield.
Yeah.
Midfield. Well, the attack's not working, is it? I mean, they do create chances, to be fair, but the attack's not working. It's not functioning. And the midfield, unfortunately, as we say, Mount, damn it, is not available, because that midfield three is a disaster. Now, they're going to bring Eriksen in, and at Old Trafford, Eriksen's going to be more of an influence than Mount, that is for sure. So I would still say the midfield. Imagine the defence. I mean, thank God that Ryan Bertrand's not been signed in time. I mean, if they'd have put Johnny Evans in as well, would have been screwed. No chance. Johnny Evans and Ryan. But this is mad. This is what I'm saying. This is Manchester United. You know, if this is their fans, they'll probably tell you that they're the two best players the world's ever seen. You know what I mean? I think Tyro can batter the hell out of that little Pat Butcher. Butcher my arse, all right? Varane's not all he's cooked up to be either. He gets caught out plenty. I mean, if you've got a pace merchant, you can get past Varane, no problem. On the right-hand side, they're going to have Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, he is a good one-on-one defender. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. On the left, apparently, it's going to be Delo now. Not the best. He's all right going forward, but again, not the best of the back. That's why the opportunity is there to press them, because they're not very good at the back. But we won't, will we? I mean, we know that.
Yeah, and as looking at the way Wolves went at them, they really did kind of go through the middle of them in a lot of that game, because they smelt the weakness. And I got to say, when I look back to the games we had against them last year, which I don't really want to do, but just one key point on that was, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Old Trafford. MG Dub had Casemiro on toast for a lot of that game. And yeah, everyone's been taking the piss out of Casemiro's weight and everything and how he's been isolated. Do you kind of see that similar matchup happening in this game?
If we can isolate him against him, because you're right, he made him look silly at times. Unfortunately, he also made a mistake that got them in. But that's why I'd like to see Santos, because he will progress the ball. He will rush. He will go through the middle. He'll barge players out of the way.
I can.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I'm disagreeing with that comment, but yeah, that's why I'd love to see Santos. But also, I think it'll bring out the best of Danilo. We need to see Danilo further forward and facing it via opposition goal, and we saw that performance against Sheffield United, and he didn't get the ball in the right areas of the pitch. He always had his back to their goal. Certainly wasn't progressive, but a player like Santos behind him who will come out with the ball, barge a player or two out of the way as well, because he's a tough tackler. He's one of those, he's a battering ram at times, and he's not the tallest, but he is obviously well built and stocky. I'd love to see that, because I think their midfield is their weakness, and if you can break through that middle and give MG Dub the ball running at their defence, and that's why I'd try and get Alanga in, or certainly have Aina in, because Aina was very progressive in that Arsenal game, wasn't he? He was very far up the pitch when we did get forward. So even he's an option to run up their back line. That just excites me. But again, it goes back to a comment, will Cooper play that way? Will Cooper have let's say it, will he have the balls to play that way? Because it does. Yeah, with cojones. Yeah, might as well, isn't it?
Oh, in that voice. Do it again. Do it again.
Can I just give flowers to Keith for that comment? I loved it. It's one for the older people. Mama Casemiro.
Explain it for us 21-year-olds.
Mama Cass was a big fat singer in the 60s for Mamas and Poppers. She was a big girl. She actually died by choking on a ham sandwich.
Wait, did they do All the Leaves Are Brown? Was that one?
Exactly, yeah.
That is a tune.
Beautiful voice, but
Yeah.
Hefty
Okay, we
lady.
promise we'll get you away in time to see, the relegation battle in a minute between Chelsea and Luton.
6 points.
So let's talk about scorelines and predictions. I mean, I've said what I've had to say on the predictor scream. Before I do, Forest Ranger, my boy, how are you? Thank you for renewing it.
Welcome back.
Appreciate it, bud. Good to see you. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're keeping well and appreciate the support as always. What are you boys saying then? Ez, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
Did you see my prediction in the predictor stream?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 3, yeah. Yeah.
But did you also hear me? Did you also hear me in the FPL stream? Because I had my FPL hat and I did not have my Forest hat on. That's why I kept Rashford in my team. And similarly, I'm going to talk with my predictor league hat on and say that was a 3-0 for them prediction. But with my Forest hat on, I'm going for a 1-1 draw tomorrow.
I don't want your Forest hat on. I want what you think is going to happen.
Well, I think we can get a draw. I think we can get a point out of them. Honestly, can. That's not just me talking with my Forest hat on, but it's. I think there's every chance if we show some cojones, we can do it. We can get something out of that game. And I'd love to score the early goal as well and put them on the back foot. But when's the last time we scored the first goal away from home? It's been a while. So if we could
do many goals all the way from home.
Hold on, chat. I know I'm tired, but did we just hear Ez give a prediction for a Forest win, a Man U win, and a draw? I know I'm tired, but chat, did he do that?
I admire you, Ed. I admire that, mate.
No. I didn't give Forest a win. So it was a draw or a Man U win. No, I went 3-0. I went 3-0 to them. Sorry, mate.
Did
I give us a goal? Did I give us a goal?
You did. You went 3-1. You went 3-1.
Marky boy's naming and shaming you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look,
yeah. Yeah. And Mark, put your prediction up as well, Mark. Yeah. Very hides behind it.
Put you I think league position up as well. Let's see that as well.
League position up.
Where are you?
He's got splinters within the splinters, Martin. All right. And you're usually the king of the fence, but go on. Let's see how you fare. You're gonna give us all 3.
No, well, might. See, the problem is with making these predictions is we do not know the teams. You know, I'd much rather give a prediction
straight on the fence he goes
after the team sheet. Because if Man U continue the way they have been, I know that Eriksen's likely to come in for Mount, but if they continue with Rashford down the middle, waste of time. If they continue with Anthony on the right, waste of time. We could very well get a 1-0 win.
Okay, and we do know what the team's going to be. We at least know the shape of the team. It's going to be back 5 low block. So
I'm talking about them, what they do.
We know what they're going to do as well. It's easier to predict.
I went 2-1 in the predictor league, but that, believe you me, that is PTSD. You know, if I think about it from a footballing point of view, I think we can get a 1-1 draw. That's what I'm going to go for. Is that on the fence enough for you?
Mate, that wasn't as fancy. Right. He gave 2. He gave a Forest draw, and he gave a Man U win.
1-0 win. He did the all 3. I didn't give Forest to win. He went Forest 1-0, went draw, and he went 2-1 in the predictor.
I tell you what, I can guarantee being right with one of them, mate.
I can tell you what. No, I'm done.
I'll clip the bit. I'll clip the bit where I'm right. And get rid of the rest.
I'll tell you what. I got more sense out of Nick earlier. I really did. I'm sticking with my 0-0 or 1-0 to Forest.
And what did you do in the predictor stream? I didn't see that your bit.
I went 1-0 Forest, mate. I bleed red.
He said to me before the stream, the predicted stream, he says, I know that Nick's going to try and wind me up and get me to predict a Forest win, but I'm not going to do it. What happens in the stream? Fucking 1-0, mate.
He knows what my balance are. All right, let's wrap it up there because I want to watch the football. It's been a bit of a weird stream, guys. Thank you for chilling with us. Unless something breaks, we will see you tomorrow on the watch along. Please do hit that like button if you haven't already. We're gonna beat them, and then I'm going to town on Twist and all the other Man U plastic fans. Come on,
It's-
Cooper, sort me out.
For the first time ever, surely, since you've met him. Yeah.
Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know him. Well, we weren't
He's
born.
not
We weren't
really
born back then,
24,
were we?
mate.
Yeah.
No, I know, but he's only known him since what? Yeah. He's not known him all his life, have you? It's since
I've known
uni.
him since
Since the uni
21.
days. Yeah.
Well, that would be all my life, man. On that note, come on, you Reds. We'll catch you on the watch along. You Reds.
You Reds. You're it.